Hello, welcome to lesson 12-3 on Box-and-Whisker Plots. In tonight's lesson, we're going to look at another way to display data. And this thing might be new to you. Alright, so our objectives, you're going to be able to make Box-and-Whisker Plots, but you're also going to be able to analyze already made Box-and-Whisker Plots. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, and I skipped a page, silly me. First, what is a Box-and-Whisker Plot? When we talk about a Box-and-Whisker Plot, as I said, it just displays the data, but it displays it as a distribution. So it looks at the quartiles and sees where about the average of the data was along a number line. Now, a Box-and-Whisker Plot is split up into quartiles. So it divides it into 4 equal parts, with the median being the middle. Right? So here we could label a Box-and-Whisker Plot. All right, at the end would be the minimum. This would be the minimum score of all the data. On the opposite end would, of course, be the maximum. That was the highest score. All right, and then we have the median, which is this middle number, which is plotted right here. You put a point, and usually they put a line through it as well. So that's considered the median. And then from there, we have the lower and upper quartile. Well, the lower quartile is this line right along here, while the upper quartile is this line right there. So we're going to first practice on how to make these, and I'm going to go step by step. So example 1, the data below represents in centimeters the wingspans of captured birds. Make a Box-and-Whisker Plot of this data. So step 1, the first thing we have to do is arrange the data in order from least to greatest in order to find the median. All right, so that's what we have to do first. So taking a look, we're going to put it in order from least to greatest. So I have a 22, a 30, I have a 29. That comes next. We have a 22, a 29, let's see, a 33, a 35. Let's see, and then, I skipped to 21, but thankfully that was right there. So there we go. Do I see any other 30s? Nope, so now I'm in the 40s for 44, 40, 44, and 49. Okay, I don't see any 50s, so now I'm in the 60s with 61, 61, 62, and then I have 72, 75. So again, we're just finding the median like we've done in the past. So let's find the middle number. So I go ahead and just cross them out as I go. I find the median is 44. All right, so that's what I found out there. Step 2 now is find the lower quartile and the upper quartile, which are the medians of those upper and lower halves. So like right here, this is considered the lower part, and on the opposite side is considered the upper. So all we're doing here is, again, finding the median. So taking a look, this time I have 6 numbers on each side. So I have 2 middle numbers. And again, remember, when we have 2 middle numbers, you find the average of them. So I do 29 plus 33, and I get 62. Divide that by 2, and I find out my lower quartile is at 31. And then if I do the same to my upper, well, I noticed right away that my 2 middle numbers are 61 and 62. So you add them together, get 123, divide it by 2, and you'll end up with 61 and 5/10. There we go. So now I have my median, my lower quartile, and my upper quartile. We really have all the data we need for the next step. Interesting. One of these are not quite right. That's what I just noticed. This should be 61.5. And I must have different data here because that's not my lower quartile either. There we go. All right. So we have our data. And I have a 44. So apparently I just have all sorts of interesting numbers here. There we go. So we have our middle number 44. We're going to go from here. So draw a number line. That's our first step. All right. And what we have to do is make the number line fit the data. So I could start at, I know I have to go from 21 all the way up to like 75. So I can't go by ones. So I'm going to go by 85. And it looks like I'm just going to have to make this a little bit longer. There we go. So now I have that. Now what I do is I mark the minimum and maximum, meaning the smallest and the largest number with just a dot. So, you know what? I'm going to start in the middle. That's probably the best way to do it. So 44 is where my middle part is, or my median. Then my lower quartile is at 31, so that's about there. My upper quartile is at 61 and 5/10, so that's about there. Now, because this is that information, the middle mean range, I make a box with it. Oops. And I missed that box a little bit. There we go. You'll notice that I put a line across where the median is, and then I just connected those points. Now, what we have to do now, or we did the box, now we have to do the whiskers. So what we take here is the minimum and maximum. Our minimum is 21, so put a point there and bring it to the box. And then one at 75 and bring it to the box. There we go. That would be my box and whisker plot. So what's neat though is we can actually compare data this way too. So we are going to do another box and whisker plot, but this time we're going to have two data items. All right, so here we're going to have to find all the information and also draw a line that fits both of them. All right, so we're going to do class A first. And the first thing I have to do is list it in order. So I have 75, 76, let's see, 80, 84, 90, 92, 96. All right, my median here is 84. All right. And then let's see. I have to find the lower and upper quartiles. And here there's only 3 numbers, so my lower quartile looks like it's going to be 76. And my upper quartile, since there's only 3 numbers, is going to be 92. That's that information. Now I have to do class B. Alright, so I have to list it in order. So I see 75, 78, 81, 84, 87, 93, 98. Alright, and again, first we find the median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Oops. So our middle number here is again 84. Let's look at our lower quartile is 78. Our upper quartile is 93. So we have our data, and now it's time to do the rest of this. All right? So my first job is to go ahead and make my number line. And I'm going to make this data a little bit smaller. That way it's not taking up so much space. So I'm going to group it and teeny, make it a little t, or smaller, tiny, however you want to say it. There we go. So I'm making my number line. And again, I want the data. I'm only making one number line even though I have 2 different classes here. All right, but I have to make it display all the data. So I see overall my lowest numbers is 75 total. My highest is 98. So again, I could just go by 5s. 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, and I'm going to start with class A. And I'm going to start with the median, so at 84. And then my lower quartile is at 76, which is right there. And my upper quartile is at 92, which is right about there. I'm going to make my box by connecting the upper and lower quartile and put a line right down the middle at the median. And then from there, again, we need to do the whiskers. My smallest number was 75, which is right there. And then my largest was 96, which is right there. There's class A. And I would label it along the side so you know which one is which. All right, so I have class A done. Now I need to do class B. All right, my median is again 84. My lower quartile is at 78, which is about right there. My upper quartile is at 93, which will be right about there. I'm going to connect again my boxes, or my box I should say, with the median. And now I do upper and lower quartile. 75 is right there, and then my highest number was 98, which was right about there. And again, I'm going to label that class B. There we go. So now we have this. We could actually make some generalizations or assumptions about the class based on our data. All right. The median for both class A and B was 84. It looks like class B had a higher maximum and really the same minimum. So you can use this data to just answer questions about them, and that's what comes next. It says for number 3 here, describe the data in the Box-and-Whisker Plot. So we just have to tell a little bit of information about it. For example, I could say the median of whatever this is, because they don't tell us, is 76. All right. The highest score, the highest number, is 85, while the minimum is 55, because they tell us right there that those are the minimum and maximum. And really we can make an assumption that all the quartiles, or this is something else we can write, the lower and upper quartile are both within, let's see, 66 to 76 is 10, within 10 units of the median. So here I made 3 general statements based off of what we see. And you can do this each time. Just tell me some information about it. And finally, 4 here. The plots below compare the percents of students who were eligible to those that participated in extracurricular activities in one school from 1992 to 2002. What conclusions can you draw? So here, these are the number of students eligible, meaning they could play. Well, this is the number of students who actually participated. So if we have to make general comments or conclusions about this, what could we say? Well, one of the things we could say is between 85 and it looks like about 100% were eligible. I got me. Eligible to play, but 40 to 75% actually participated. That's something you could say. All right. What I would like you to do now is make one other general statement about this graph or about this Box-and-Whisker plot. All right, and it could be anything based off this data. So go ahead and do that, and when you're all done, we can just see what you might have had in comparison to what I wrote. So go ahead and pause me now. All right, another thing you may have said was something about the median. The median percent eligible to play was 95%, while the median percentage that played was only 60%. So there was a 35% difference. The maximum of the participants was 75, while about 100% were actually eligible. And so the lower quartile was at 50, while the lower quartile of the eligible was at about 89 or 88. So you can see how you can just make general statements. So that's tonight's lesson. Tonight we talked about how to make Box-and-Whisker plots using medians and upper and lower quartiles. And we were able to make conclusions off the graph based on what we saw. Have a terrific night. I will see you in class tomorrow. Adios.